What is going on, everybody? Today we're going over Intel stock, ticker symbol INTC. This is an update. I did an Intel video about 3-4 months ago when they were around 40 something dollars. I did the Warren Buffett fair value formula on the Excel, which we will do today as well. And I got a price that people didn't believe me. Says that it's worth something like $90, and Buffett will be a buyer anywhere below 60, 65, something like that. I was pretty new to YouTube. I was barely a week or 2 week old. Not a lot of people saw this video, but the ones that do says no, Intel is going to zero, Well, the formula said that it's going to minimum 60 and then to 90. We're gonna see 3 months later if there's any change, any updates on the formula. I'm gonna go over the financials of Intel stock to see if they are still healthy. They got a bidding from Microsoft, Apple. Everyone are living their chip, making their own chip, M1 chip, all that good stuff. And yet Intel is still Intel. Don't underestimate them. Know that $60 now, and know that $40 3 months ago. So without further ado, let's get started with Intel. So I'm in Yahoo Finance, Intel stock, ticker symbol INTC. Price today about $57. And I did a video, see 52-week range 43 to 68 when it was around 44, 45. I really caught the bottom of the bottom. Some people thanked me and some people said I don't know what I'm talking about. I might not know what I'm talking about. I'm just following what Mr. Warren Buffett does, and last time I've checked, he's a very smart and wealthy person. So in order to do the Excel for Intel and find the fair value as of today of Intel stock, I need two numbers. Item number one is this one, EPS, earning per share, for the last 12 months. I'm gonna put this number in the Excel, 4.94. okay, that's number one, 494. And the other number that I need, you go to the analysis tab, you scroll all the way down right here, and basically I need to enter a number from anywhere from here. The next 5 years growth 543, or let's see if we got anything. This year was pretty harsh, down 10%. Next quarter is pretty harsh, down 23. Next quarter 8% down. Next year 2. The last 5 years they grew by 19%. So I'm gonna enter this number 543. That's what you need. The next 5 years per annual. Those are the two numbers that I need just to find the fair value of the stock before we even going over the financials to see if Intel is still healthy, and we will. So let's put those two numbers in the Excel. I'm in the Excel, guys, how to value a stock like Mr. Warren Buffett. For you that don't know me, new to my channel, I made this Excel based on the book The Intelligent Investor, written by Benjamin Graham, Mr. Buffett mentor. You can read the 600 pages book and come to your own conclusion, or check my description below and get a copy of this Excel for $10 one-time transaction. Basically, in order to fill the details and find the fair value of each and every stock, you just need two items that are positive. EPS, that's what we find, 494. I showed you where on Yahoo summary page, 494. PE is a constant from the book. Growth, 543, also in the analysis tab. 2 times growth is a constant. Corporate bond 4.4 is a constant, and we need to find Intel AAA bond yield. That's what we're gonna do after we're gonna go over the financials. You put the stock price today, and basically once you find the AAA bond yield, you're gonna find two items: the fair value of the stock, as well as the price that Mr. Buffett will be a buyer, which is 33% below the fair value. And last time I did it when Intel was around 44, 45, we came to a price of about 90, something like that, and a price that he will buy for around 60, 65. And now they're approaching the price of 60, and it's almost 50% gain in the last 3-4 months. So basically, if you haven't followed me already, click the subscribe button, hit the bell and all that good stuff. Let's go over the financials of Intel to see what we see. I'm in the finance tab, financial tab. Let's start with the income statement like Mr. Buffett. First thing I want to see, total revenue. I want to see that it's growing. Pretty simple. So it went from 62 billion to 70 billion 2018 to 71 billion, pretty stagnant 2019, and then they still jumped to 77 billion. Everyone say, oh, Apple is gonna make their own chip, all that good stuff, Intel is going to zero. Well, they made extra $6 billion. Don't listen to people, listen to the numbers. That's all that matters. Let's go over this one, gross profit. Mr. Buffett would like to see a 40% gross profit ratio. So we're gonna take the calculator. I'm gonna show you exactly how to do that. You're taking this number, the 43,612. That's in billion. That's a lot. 43,612, and you divided by the total revenue right here, 77,867, and you would like to see a number of 40% and up. Let's click enter. We got an amazing number, 56% gross. FYI, Nvidia and AMD are at 44-45% growth. So don't underestimate Intel at all just because AMD is the new kid on the block and everyone are buying AMD for their gaming chip or whatever the case is. Don't underestimate Intel. They've been here forever and most likely they will be here forever as well. They're not going to zero, just my opinion, but they're not going to zero. 56% growth. That's better than the other two. It's pretty awesome. Let's go over the net income, which is right here, 20 billion. Stay the same. It's now 21 billion, 20.9. It's about the same. They stay the same. They stay the same. So you take this number, 2899, the net income, and you divide it again by total revenue, 77,867. Okay. And Buffett would like to see 20% net. We'd like to see 40% gross. We got 60 something. That's amazing. And 20% net. Let's click enter. We got ourselves 27% net. Yeah, 26.8. That's pretty awesome. There's AMD and Nvidia, if I remember correctly, around 24, 25. Still super healthy. And from what I see, Intel is the most profitable from the free. They just stay constant with their net income. They haven't made more like the other two. AMD really jumped in the last couple of years, but still 65% gross, 27% net. That's more than the 40-20 ratio rule that Buffett is looking further. It's not bad at all. Do not underestimate by any chance the Intel stock. Do not. And 45 was great. Let's see what is it, Intel at 58. Let's see if it's really worth it. We're gonna check the prices later. Let's move on to the balance for a couple of items right here in the balance sheet. First at the glance, you wanna see assets are growing, and we got 123 billion, 127 billion, 136 billion. And the last year when they lost Apple, they went up from 136 to 153. Which is about, let's say, another 17 billion compared to 9 billion. They jumped, look at this, they jumped in their assets from 9 billion from 2018 to 19 to 18 billion, almost 95% jump in assets, and Apple lost them. Do not underestimate Intel by any means. This is a super Bahamaut company. Do not underestimate them at all. Let's see the ratio that I like to see, the long-term debt, which is here. You click on total liabilities, total non-current liabilities, and you find here the long-term debt, and you take this number 33,897, and you divide it. Go back to the income statement, okay? To the net income right here, the 20 billion, you divide it by 2899, and ideally you want to see a number of 4 and below, meaning that Intel can pay their long-term debt in 4 years or less. This means that the company is super healthy. Let's click enter. And 1.6, so about a year and a half. It's gonna take them like 18 months to pay off their long-term debt. Pretty awesome. Nvidia and AMD is around 6 months, something like that. Also, pretty awesome. Anything less than 4 years is pretty awesome. That's basically it. a super healthy company. Super healthy, super healthy company. Let's go over the cash flow. Let's see what we got. I'm looking at the end of 2020. Operating cash flow, money that comes from selling Intel chips, went from 33 billion to 35 billion. They made extra 2 billion. Pretty awesome. Investing is negative. I want to see a negative. That means that they're expanding. And financial is negative as well. I want to see that. That means that they're paying off more debt and they're doing more buybacks and they're doing more dividends. If it was a positive number, it was basically the opposite. The opposite meaning they're taking on more loans, they're not doing buybacks, and they're not giving dividend. So when you see a negative, that's a plus. That's how basically it works. And let's see exactly what we did here. Issue of debt. So they took on debt of $10 billion, but they repay a debt of 4.5, which I assume is this one plus. They had 3.3 billion debt, and they paid that 3.3 plus another billion, and they took 10 billion. So they have 5 billion extra for the investment. Okay, which you saw a negative in the investment part. That's what you want to see. Do not get confused. You want in a super healthy company to see a positive operating cash flow, negative investment, meaning they're investing a lot more their cash flow and expanding their business, and negative finance, meaning they're doing a lot more buyback, a lot more paying debt, and yeah, that's basically what they do. Plus, minus, minus. That's what you need to see. And I see a plus, minus, minus. Pretty awesome. See what we got here. Repurchase of capital stock, doing buyback, doing buyback of Intel stock, $14 billion compared to 13 billion, compared to 10 billion, compared to 3 billion. Every year they're getting super aggressive buying back Intel stock. Do not underestimate them by any means. And the free cash flow went this year from 17 billion to 21 billion. From 14 billion, 10 billion. They're growing by $4 billion a year, which is about 20% growth in free cash flow year over year in the last 4 years. Pretty awesome. There's nothing I can say. That's pretty awesome. And the fair value according to Mr. Buffett. But from what I see, financials are amazing. You know, the chip industry, AMD, Nvidia, and Intel are amazing. Micron, really bad. If you look my video on Micron that I did a couple of days ago, they're just everything is declining. Everything is declining. While AMD, Nvidia, and Intel are growing. Intel is growing. Get this this important part. Everyone abandoned them and they are growing. Those numbers are super awesome numbers. Let's see how much they worth according to the Buffett fair value formula. Once we found the financials are super awesome, all we have to do in order to find the last piece of the Excel puzzle, you Google Intel corporate bond, and if you have that Excel, just Google any company that you want, first name of the company, then corporate bond. I'm looking for the highest number. Okay, very important. The higher the number, the more conservative your result will be. So we got this 2.87, and we got here 4.75. That's higher. I'm gonna use this probably. 3.7. Okay. Let's see if we got anything else. 325. 425. 4.6. So I'm gonna use this one. This is the highest number, 475. That's the number that I'm gonna put in the Excel. So let's do that. Yeah, back in the Excel, guys, AAA bond yield, I just put 475. Everything is ready, and basically once I click enter, I'm gonna find the fair value of Intel stock as well as the price that Buffett will be a buyer. I want to see if anything changed, because last time I did it we were around 45 bucks and the price was around 90, and Buffett will be a buyer around 60. That was a great buy. I don't know if anything changed according to the financials. That's why I'm doing this update. So yeah, before I actually hit enter, guys, let me introduce myself. My name is Ziv, also known as Finance After 40. While I am new to YouTube, I have about 20,000 community members following me on TikTok under the same name, Finance After 40. You can get a copy of this Excel in the description below. I also have a Patreon that you can support me, where we do selling options for income. We do about 1 or 2 trades a week, selling options for income using Market Chameleon software, which you all find in the description below. Tons of good stuff. If you get value from everything that I do, subscribe, hit the bell, all that good stuff, guys. And without further ado, let's find the fair value of Intel stock. So dum da da dum da 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 dum. Okay, yeah, same thing, haven't changed. Stock price today 57, fair value $88, same as 3 months ago, and price that Mr. Buffett will be a buyer is 59 bucks. We are at 57, and people laugh at me when we were at 45 and I got those results. This is what we got. Intel is super undervalued still. Even after they went up almost 50% in the last 3 months, they are still super undervalued. I'm glad I did this update with the financials, because the financials now, after Apple, still look super healthy, and people underestimate Intel. Do not underestimate Intel just because there's Nvidia and AMD. Everyone can play. The big players can play. Micron, on the other hand, ticker symbol MU, is declining. But Intel is growing, AMD is growing, and Nvidia is growing. There's space for each and every one of those three. Average fair value of Intel is almost 90 bucks, 88. Price that Buffett will be a buyer is around 60, which is 33% discount. We are at 37. I'm very happy. Bring you guys any sort of value. Hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification, leave a comment below. Which stock would you like me to do next? And if you own Intel stock, if you watched my first video, did you buy it around 45, or did you wait, or did you think that it's not gonna reach 60 because Apple dumped them, basically? Only if you gain value, subscribe. Thank you very much. Intel is worth $90. I'm very happy with this price. I'm very happy with their financials. Don't forget their healthy dividend was almost 4% when it was around 45 bucks. Now it went down to around 2.3%, something like that. Subscribe, hit the bell, all that good stuff. Thank you guys very much, and I will see you in the next video. Yeah.